Now, there's also plenty of examples of parallelism in literature. So, poems, pieces of excerpts of literature, speeches, wonderful sources for parallelism. I have a few examples for you.
Let's look at parallelism in How Do I Love Thee by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. I love thee freely as men strive for right. I love thee purely as they turn from praise. These two verses from the poem of Elizabeth Barrett Browning have been made parallel by the repetition of I love thee. In Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech, we can see the parallelism within the phrases of I have a dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. With the repetition of the phrase, I have a dream, this ends up becoming the title of the speech, and this is a good example of parallelism. In the inaugural presidential speech by Barack Obama, he also provides an example of structured parallelism when he says, humbled by, grateful for, mindful of. We can see that this creates structure and giving his speech that beauty of using these bold phrases. My fellow citizens, I stand here today humbled by the task before us, grateful for the trust you have bestowed, mindful of the sacrifices borne by our ancestors. This is a parallel structure that supports his speech in making it cohesive and consistent. In this example from Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities, we can see an antithesis happening in the contrast between the two cities and also the repetition of it was. So therefore, this is a great example of structured parallelism with antithesis. Here's the example. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. You can hear it coming back and forth like a pendulum of explaining what was happening between these two cities, and that you're being prompted to be focusing on those traits of each age as it's going to be presented throughout his work.